Luna Abyss drops players into a dark, mysterious, and brutal sci-fi descent into the depths of a dead moon. It mixes fast-paced first-person movement, bullet hell-style combat, and a heavy atmosphere narrative set inside a massive, direct structure buried beneath the surface of Luna. While the game has strong visual identity, a solid core gameplay ideas, its story delivery and technical pacing issues stop it from fully reaching its potential. I'm Kano from the Gamer section, and today we're reviewing Luna Abyss for the Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. The story of Luna Abyss begins with a condemned prisoner being forced into a massive underground structure buried deep within the moon of Luna. This structure is not just an abandoned building, it is a living, breathing, anomaly filled with lost technology, corrupted data, and the remains of a colony that was once consumed by the Abyss. You are tasked with retrieving ancient and highly dangerous technology from within this ever-changing depths, all while being monitored and guided by an artificial overseer known as Island. This entity acts as both guide and controller, dictating your descent while proving limited information about the world around you. As you progress deeper, you begin to uncover fragments of a lost civilization. This actually has the ruins of the Greymont hint at something far more sinister than simple collapse records, echoes, and environmental details suggest the presence of forces unknown only as the Scrooge, the All-Father's Doctrine, and the Collective. The world feels as if it consistently speaks in coded murmurs, as through the Abyss itself is alive and attempting to communicate through distorted signals and fractured memory. However, despite this strong foundation of lore and atmosphere, the story often relies too heavily on ambiguity. Many elements are left unexplained or presented in a way that can feel too abstract to fully connect with, which may leave some players feeling disconnected from the narrative thread. The presentation is one of the most striking aspects of Luna Abyss. The game builds a very strong dark sci-fi atmosphere through its environmental design. The Abyss itself feels massive, industrial, and constantly unsettling. Brutalist architecture, decayed structures, and glowing technological anomalies all combine to create a setting that feels truly alien and uncomfortable. Lighting plays a huge role here. Shadows, flashing energy sources, and distorted visual effects help create constant tension during exploration and combat sequences. The environments never feel safe, which fits the game's core design perfectly. However, character designs and some animations do not always match the quality of the environments. While the world itself can look extremely impressive, the human elements sometimes feel a little flat or outdated in comparison. Sound design is strong overall. Movement sounds such as running, dashing, and weapon fire all have a heavy, impactful feel that supports the gameplay very well. Enemy audio cues also help build tension during the more chaotic bullet hell encounters. The soundtrack leans heavily more into dark, atmospheric, and suspenseful tones. It doesn't try to overpower the experience, but instead works in the background to maintain a constant sense of unease and descent into something unknown. Performance is on Xbox Series X, so it's generally stable, with the game running at a smooth 60 frames per second most of the time. However, there are occasional movements where loading and streaming transitions can disrupt the flow of the gameplay. The gameplay in Luna Abyss is built around fast, aggressive movements combined with the high-intensity combat against cosmetic and corrupted entities. At its core, this is a first-person action experience that pushes players into master movements and combat simultaneously. You are constantly sprinting, dashing, jumping, and repositioning while dealing with enemies that fill the screen with projectiles and attack patterns. The combat is a strong bullet hell influence, meaning positioning and reaction speed are critical all times. Players must quickly adapt to enemy waves while using a variety of advanced weaponry designed for fast engagements. Movements is one of the game's strongest features. The first-person mobility system feels fast and responsive, giving you the ability to flow through large environments at high speed when everything is clicking properly. As you descend deeper into the abyss, you begin to uncover more about the lost colony and the true nature of Luna itself. The game continues to layer environmental storytelling on top of its core gameplay, rewarding players who pay attention to their surroundings. The descent itself becomes a central mechanic both literally and thematically. Each new area feels like going deeper into something unknown both physically and narratively. However, while the core gameplay loop is engaging, it can sometimes feel repetitive over time, especially when combat encounters begin to follow similar patterns without significant variation. Despite its strong atmosphere and solid core mechanics, Lunar Abyss does have some noticeable issues that impact the overall experience. The biggest problem is the story presentation. While the lore and world building are intriguing, much of it feels too vague or underdeveloped in the actual delivery. The game often relies on abstract concepts and fragmented information without fully explaining its core events, which can make it hard to stay fully invested in the narrative. Another issue comes from pacing and loading. There are frequent load screens that can disrupt the flow of the exploration and combat. In some cases, loading even occurs during movements through environments, which breaks immersion and makes the descent feel less seamless than intended. While these technical interruptions don't completely ruin the experience, they do stand out in the game that relies heavily on atmosphere and flow. Combat variety, what people like to say, can also become an issue over time. While the bullet hell design and movement system is strong, some encounters begin to feel similar after extended play, with not enough new elements introduced to keep every fight feeling fresh. The combination of these issues prevent the game from fully reaching the level of polish it clearly strives for. At its best, Lunar Abyss delivers a striking and atmospheric sci-fi descent into a mysterious and dangerous world. The fast movement system, intense combat encounters, and strong visual designs all come together to create moments that feel truly immersive and engaging. However, the experience is held back by underdeveloped story delivery, repetitive structure in some combat sections, and technical issues like loading interruptions that break immersion. There is clearly a strong foundation here, and the core ideas are very promising, but it is actually in its current form that it just doesn't feel like it's good. The game feels like it still needs more refinement to fully realize its potential. If you enjoy fast-paced first-person action games with heavy atmosphere and bullet hell style combat, there is definitely something here to appreciate. But players looking for a fully polished, narratively clear experience may find it a bit rough around the edges. For that, I give Lunar Abyss a 4 out of 5. Thank you for tuning into the best place for independent gaming journalism, the Gamer Section. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay locked in for more reviews, interviews, and gaming content coming soon.